Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into a law of power that's, well, let's just say it's timeless, and it's definitely controversial. It's a rule that quietly operates behind the scenes in, every office, every boardroom, and on every team.
So let me start with a question that honestly feels kind of backward in our world that's all about celebrating talent and grinding 24/7. Can you actually be too good? Can you be so brilliant that it backfires on you? Well, as we're about to see, the answer is a big, flashing yes. And here it is, law number 1. The judgment is pretty clear. Always make the people above you feel comfortably superior. See, when you go overboard showing off your talents, you don't inspire them, you actually inspire fear and insecurity. And look, this isn't about telling you to be mediocre. Not at all. It's about being smart and strategic with how you navigate basic human nature.
Okay, to really get a feel for the, and I mean this, life or death stakes of this law, we've got to go back in time. Let's travel to 17th century France. We're about to meet a man whose incredible brilliance became his own undoing. It's a story of ambition, spectacle, and one catastrophic mistake.
Meet Nicolas Fouquet. He was the finance minister for a young King Louis XIV. And by all accounts, this guy was the whole package. Brilliant, charming, and totally indispensable to the crown. But Fouquet had this one burning ambition. He desperately wanted to be the king's prime minister, and he thought he knew exactly how to get the job. So, in his mind, the path to promotion was all about making a huge, unforgettable gesture. He decided he was going to throw a party so incredible, so mind-blowingly spectacular, that the king would just have no choice but to see his greatness and hand him that top spot. And wow, what a party it was. He held it at his brand new, magnificent chateau. Now, officially, the whole thing was in the king's honor. I mean, you had the finest food, the most incredible music, even a brand new play written just for the occasion. It was, without a doubt, the party of the century. But here's the thing. Here was the fatal flaw in his plan. The party wasn't just good. It was too good. It was way more impressive than any party the king himself had ever thrown. So instead of honoring the king, it ended up just showcasing Fouquet's insane wealth, his perfect taste, and his powerful friends. He didn't just host the king, he completely upstaged him.
Now, King Louis XIV, the self-proclaimed Sun King, well, he didn't appreciate being stuck in someone else's shadow. He felt humiliated, insecure, and he acted fast. I mean, the very next morning, he had Fouquet arrested, slapped him with a charge of treason, and threw him in prison for what would be the last 20 years of his life. Just a jaw-dropping fall from the top.
The philosopher Voltaire just summed it up perfectly. In the span of a single night, Fouquet's own brilliance was the very thing that sealed his fate. He made his master feel small, and for that, he paid the ultimate price.
Okay, now what's fascinating is that at the exact same time in history, another brilliant mind was playing this game in a completely different and much smarter way. Let's head over to Italy and talk about the great astronomer Galileo Galilei.
Right, so Galileo was a certified genius, but, even geniuses gotta pay the bills. All of his work was bankrolled by the generosity of powerful patrons, especially the famous Medici family. And unlike Fouquet, Galileo got it. He knew that his success, his very survival, depended on making his bosses look good. So get this, in 1610, Galileo makes this monumental discovery. He finds the moons orbiting Jupiter. It's a huge deal. But here's the masterstroke. Does he name them after himself? The Galilean moons? Nope. He calls them the Medicean stars. He brilliantly links the 4 new moons to the 4 sons of his patron. He literally turned his scientific breakthrough into a cosmic monument to his master's power. It was genius.
I mean, the contrast here could not be more stark. You've got Fouquet, who went for self-glorification. He made himself the star of the show and made his king feel tiny. And then you have Galileo, who perfected master glorification. He made his amazing discovery all about his patron's greatness. And the results? Well, they speak for themselves. A prison cell on one side and a secure job and a legacy that lasts forever on the other.
So, okay, what's the takeaway here? How do you actually put this into practice in your own life without, feeling like you're just being a suck-up or being deceitful? Let's break down the actual playbook. First thing you have to understand is the basic psychology at play here. Everybody, and I mean everybody, no matter how powerful or confident they seem, has insecurities. And when you come in and you just flaunt your talents, you risk stirring up all that resentment, all that envy, even if they're smiling to your face.
So here are the keys to making this work. Step 1. Master the art of discreet flattery. Obvious compliments are just obvious, but subtle praise is powerful. Find ways to make your boss seem smarter than they are. Step 2, and this one can be tough on the ego, give them the credit for your ideas. You can say something like, building on that great point you made last week, make it seem like your genius is just an echo of theirs. And finally, step 3, if you are naturally more gifted in some area, learn to downplay it. If you're smarter, play the fool sometimes. It's a performance, really, all designed to keep them feeling secure. This quote really captures the whole idea perfectly. Think of it like this. There can only be one sun in the sky at a time. Your job isn't to be a second, rival sun. No, your job is to be the clear blue sky that makes the sun, your master, look even more brilliant. Real power, in this context, comes from making them shine brighter.
But what if your boss is just awful, What if your master is weak, they're incompetent, and they're dragging the whole team down? Do you really have to go down with the ship? Is there ever a time to break this rule?
Well, even here, the law says be careful. If you go out of your way to crush a weak leader, it can make you look cruel or just plain mean to everybody else watching. You might win that one battle, sure, but you could easily lose the war for your reputation. You have to be strategic.
The right time to make your move is only, and I mean only, when your master is a falling star, when their power is clearly irreversibly fading. But even then, the advice isn't to give them a final shove. Instead, just be patient, bide your time, let office politics or just plain nature take its course. If you play your cards right, you won't need to outshine them forcefully. You'll just step into the light after they're gone.
So, ultimately, this law leaves us with a provocative question. It's not about hiding your talents forever, but about being really smart about how and when you let them show. So think about it. In your world, who's the sun? And what's your strategy for shining? Because it's a choice between reflecting light or risking getting burned. That's all for this explainer.